Two guys, same house, both with $320,000 mortgage at 3.75%. Both of them have an extra $400 a month they can do something with. 20 years and 3 months from now, they're both standing in a paid off house on the same day. One of them has nothing left over. The other one has about $50,000 sitting in an account he can get to. The difference isn't the $400. They're both using the exact same $400. The difference is where that money sits for the next 20 years. So here's the loan. $320,000, 30-year fixed, 3.75. Principal and interest, $1,481.97, and you found $400 you can do something with. Everybody gives you the same instruction. Send it to principal. And before we go further, let me define that, because I use it constantly and it matters here. Principal, the amount borrowed or the balance still owed, not counting interest. In plain English, the actual money you owe. Interest is the rent you pay it on. So an extra payment aimed at principal skips the rent and goes straight at the debt. That's why it works. Let's run it all the way out. $400 extra every month kills that loan in 243. 20 years and 3 months instead of 30. You cut 9 years and 9 months off the mortgage and you don't pay $76,355 of interest that otherwise was coming. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's a bad idea. It isn't. You're getting a guaranteed 3.75. Nobody can take that away from you. And if you go do exactly that, you've done fine. But think about what happens to the 400 once you send it. It's gone. It's not lost. It's just out of reach. It went into the house and you can't get it back without asking a lender to do it. And the loan doesn't adjust. Being 80% paid off doesn't buy you a month. $1,481.97 is still due on the first, whether you send an extra payment or not. So maybe 5 years from now, the roof needs replacing, or you lose your job, or something else comes up. You've got all of this equity in the house, but you don't actually have access to any of it. And the only way to get it at is an application, an approval, and an appraisal, and whatever rates happen to be that year. And I see this one all the time. Somebody's been paying extra for 8 years. They're proud of it. And then something happens and they end up putting $5,000 on a credit card at 22% with $140,000 in equity sitting right there in the house. There's another way to do it. And let's run the same $400. Keep making the regular payment on your mortgage. Take the $400 and buy a broad index with it every single month. Same amount, same automatic transfer. Then track one number. I'll call it the payoff number. What the account has to reach before you can sell it, write one check, and be done with the mortgage. You'll still building up money to pay off the house. The difference is you haven't locked it in the walls. Two things, and then we'll get right back out of here. If this is helping, tap the like button and subscribe. Second thing, I'm a licensed mortgage loan officer, and this is what I do all day. If you want to go through your exact situation, there's a QR code and my email address are on the screen. And they're also both in the description and the pinned comment. Book a free call or just email me. Want to run it yourself first? My free extra payment calculator is linked down there as well. All right, so when does that account catch the mortgage? Let's use a conservative assumption. I'm going to use 7% a year, not the numbers you see thrown around online. We'll use 7%. At 7%, the account passes the loan balance on month 216, which is 18 years. There's one thing we haven't accounted for yet, which was the taxes. You don't get to spend the whole account. When you sell those shares, you owe capital gains tax on the growth. Let me define that one as well. Capital gains tax is the tax you owe on the growth and the asset's value when you sell it, calculated on the gain, rather than on the amount you receive. The plain English part of it is you only owe it on the profit, not on the money you put in. So the payoff number isn't the loan balance, it's the loan balance plus the tax that you generate getting there. Let's put the real numbers up on the screen. At month 222, that account holds $180,842. $88,800 of that is just your own deposits. The gain is $92,042. At 15%, you owe $13,806 on it. What's left clears a loan balance of $165,917. Month 222, 18 and a half years, that's 21 months sooner than sending it to principal after tax. Now take the other guy's payoff date, month 243, the day his extra payments finish the job. On the same day, your account is worth $213,245. Pay the tax, pay off the mortgage, and you're in the same paid off house he's in with $50,799 left. And remember, while he was putting that $400 into the mortgage, you still had access to your money the whole time. You could see the balance. You could use it if you really had to. So let me argue the other side, because there are two real risks here. First one, how good does the market actually have to be for this to work? Not 7%. It has to average 4.24% after tax just to tie the guaranteed payoff. You're basically just trying to beat 3.75 over 20 years. Second, a bad start barely hurts you. Flat returns for 5 straight years moves your payoff month from 222 to 227. 5 months because the balance is small while you're still buying. What hurts is a bad ending. A 30% drop the year before you're going to pull the trigger cost you 22 months and puts you at month 244, 1 month behind the guy who just paid his mortgage down. And that's the part people miss. The guy who sent all to principal has no choice in that. His money is in the walls, and if he needs it, he's applying for a loan in a bad year, which is exactly when a lender is least interested. That's the worst case. And look at how it lands. You finish a month later than the safe option, and you still have the account. If the market drops that year, you don't have to sell into it. So you wait. It's your call, not the market's. 2 people should skip this. If watching the balance drop is the only thing that keeps you consistent, send it to principal. A plan you quit in year 6 loses to a plan you keep. And if your rate is 6 or 7, I look at this very differently. This one depends on the low rate. So same $400 either way. Into principal, it buys you a guaranteed 3.75 and a house you can't borrow against without an application. Into the account, it gets you there about 21 months earlier, roughly $50,000 on the same day, and 20 years of being able to reach your own money. You're not deciding whether to pay off the house. You're deciding whether that money has to sit inside the walls while it waits. One last thing. If you want me to look at your numbers, the QR code and my email are back on this screen. And the links are in the description and the pinned comment. Book a call or email me. No pressure either way. I'll see you in the next one.